So in this lecture we're going to look at 7 words related to engineering. And here are the 7 words: analog, automate, hydraulic, hydroelectric, laser, prototype, optical. So the first word is analog. Analog. Analog technology involves measuring, storing, or recording information by using physical quantities that are variable. For example, voltage and temperature. It's the opposite, really, of digital technology, digital measurements. Analog. In American English, we often spell it like this. So, for example, the analog signals from a videotape are converted into digital code. Digital TV is a more efficient way of delivering signals than analog transmissions. I'm old enough to remember when we had only analog transmissions for the TV channels. So you have analog signal, analog transmission, analog recording, analog technology. It's a very specialised word, so there are no synonyms for the word here. Automate is your next word. Automate. If you automate something, you put in machines which can do the work instead of people. So you have lots of robots. You can automate a factory, for example. Here's a factory in Germany that is automated. Unskilled jobs are going to be automated in the future. They decided to automate many of the manual processes. Manual is by hand. It was a self-service, fully automated program. And so we can automate a process, automate a system, and systems can be fully automated or partly automated. So it's a verb, so we can have automates, automating, automated, which works as an adjective as well. And also you can talk about the process, which is automation. So the automation of the factory has been completed. So automate. Some synonyms for automate: mechanize, make automatic, and possibly this word robotize. It's not very frequently used though. Your next word is hydraulic. Hydraulic. Hydraulic equipment or machines use or are run by fluids that are under pressure, such as water or oil. So the huge cylinder on the back of this truck was lifted by hydraulics, by a liquid under pressure, basically by pushing the liquid into the lifting mechanism. Hydraulic. The word comes from the Greek. Hydro means water in Greek. So with a slight change in spelling, hydra. We'll see another hydro word shortly. Some example sentences: the boat has no fewer than 5 hydraulic pumps. Below 500 meters, depth does not appear to be related to hydraulic conductivity. Hydraulic pressure is involved in lowering the landing gear and in controlling the airplane. So we often talk about a hydraulic pump, hydraulic system. Hydraulic pressure is very common. Hydraulic brake. And hydraulics is the study and the use of hydraulic systems, hydraulics. Hydroelectric, let's stay on the water theme. Hydroelectric means relating to or involving electricity made from the energy of moving water. So here's a hydroelectric dam. and the water moving through the dam generates lots of electricity. Hydroelectric, and again, here's that word hydro, the Greek word for water. Engineers say the river has huge potential for developing hydroelectric power. The region contains many factories powered by a hydroelectric dam. We made big things like steel for ships and tractors and turbines for hydroelectric plants. So we often talk about hydroelectric power and hydroelectric power stations. You can have a hydroelectric project, hydroelectric dam as well. And hydroelectricity is the electricity made from hydroelectric dams and power stations. Laser is your next word, laser. A laser is a narrow beam of light, of concentrated light, produced by a special machine like the ones here in the picture. And they have many uses. They can cut very hard materials. They can be used in surgery and also in telecommunications too. So for example, therapies currently under investigation include laser surgery. Researchers found that a tunable laser beam might be useful in surgery. And the Air Force started to use laser-guided bombs. So you can have a laser beam, laser surgery, you aim a laser, and you can use a laser as well. And your next word is prototype. Prototype. A prototype is a new type of machine or device which isn't yet ready to be made in large numbers and sold. It's a way to test out a new machine or a new device. Like a test model. Here's a prototype of a beautiful car powered by solar power, which was built in Germany. It's a prototype. The word proto, again, it's Greek. It means first, or the first type of something. So prototype is the first type of a machine or a device. He has built a prototype of a machine called the wave rotor. They launched a prototype of their solar-powered car. He quietly built a prototype of the machine in his garage, or garage, as some people pronounce it. So you can have a prototype of something, such as a device or a car. You build a prototype, and you make a working prototype. So, for example, the car we looked at was a working prototype. It worked. It wasn't just a model. It does something. So model is sometimes a synonym of prototype, but a model doesn't necessarily work. It just might look like the finished product. A mock-up, possibly precursor, a precursor of a finished product. Optical is your next word, optical. Optical devices and processes and effects involve light or vision or images. It's basically anything to do with vision, light or images. Here's an optical telescope, so you can look at the stars. Volcanic dust in the atmosphere creates interesting optical effects. An optical zoom on a camera physically adjusts the lens to magnify a distant object. And then came an all-optical experiment using an optical fibre to transmit data. So we talk about optical fibre. A lot of the internet works through optical fibres. So using light, pulses of light to send data through optical fibers on the internet. You can have an optical telescope. Lots of cameras today have an optical zoom and an optical illusion as well. So optical, some synonyms for optical. Visual is the best one. There aren't really any more synonyms that I can think of for optical. It's a very specialized word. So there are your 7 engineering words: analog, automate, hydraulic, hydroelectric, laser, prototype, optical.